Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Connors again, answering important questions that people have that we hear all the time. Here's a question: what's the process to get started? Well, really, the first thing you're going to do is look at our site, see if this is what you really feel led to go down this pathway with us, see if we're the right people for you. I tell everybody the most important thing for me is that you're obedient to God. Um, whether that's to start with us or to start with somebody else, that's fine. Our information that we have on this site is, most of it is free. I mean, everything on this site is free. Please download my books, utilize that information. We see ourselves as a ministry first, so we want to help everybody that we possibly can. We can't see everybody possibly. So anytime I learn information, I try to make a video or do another blog post or try to teach people something, write a new book. That's just who I am. That's how God made me. Understand, not everybody is led to come this pathway. Maybe they're just led to learn some things from us, and this is a stepping stone. We want you to pray about your decision. That's the first step. The next step, if you decide to move forward, doesn't mean you're committing to anything, but the first step then is a call. Call the clinic. Give us a call. You'll talk to one of our staff. We're here Monday through Friday. Leave a message if it's late Friday afternoon or over the weekend. We'll get back to you. Fill out that inquiry on our website that pops up on the pages. Fill that out. Put some detail in there. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. We'll give you information. We'll email you information, different pages that you should look at. You should look at our plans and fees. We have level 1 and level 2 on our site. We are completely transparent with our fee schedule. So we also have level 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's not on our site. So if level 2 and level 1, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't afford this, that doesn't mean you shouldn't call us. We have lower level plans that you can just work with us nutritionally. You'll work with one of my nutritionists to give you some direction that is very inexpensive, just the cost of the nutrition. So we'll help everyone that we possibly can. So don't be discouraged about the fees, but you should know the fees before you even take the next step. And you should also understand what we offer. We're not offering, you know, chemotherapy. We're not offering IV therapies. We're very specific. We're offering specific nutritional guidance, specific herbal guidance. We're testing through a cheek swab. We're testing genetics. We're doing full genetic workup on all our patients. We're testing for frequencies for Rife machine. Almost all of our patients get a Rife machine. We're testing for drivers of the cancer, causes of the cancer, trying to balance that out. That's what our promise is. We have to stay in our lane, what God has called us to do. And so you need to understand that. So if you're looking for chemotherapy or IPT therapy or some invasive type of therapy, that's not what our clinic offers. So do examine our site to see what God has led us to do. The next step with that call is to schedule a case review with me. A case review with me will be, you'll complete the online intake form. You can see that on the Begin Here page. It could be either over a Zoom or over a phone call. All of our work is distance work. So it'll be over a phone call or a Zoom with me. You'll talk to me. We'll discuss anything you need. We'll discuss, what's going on with your case. I will be very honest with you, whether we could even take your case or not, whether this is the best fit. Ultimately, it's our decision together, how we want to move forward. So we'll go over that together. I'll make my recommendations. If this is something that you can't afford, I'll make recommendations on how to get started with maybe some nutrition. We'll try to help everyone we possibly can. That's about a 30-minute call with me, and we'll do as much as we can over that time period. The next, if you decide to move to the next step, is to schedule a time with onboarding. Angie and Aaron are our onboarding specialists. You'll talk to them. They'll go over the plans, the different levels of plans that we talked about, you and I. They'll go over that level of plan that you feel most comfortable with, and they'll send you online documents for that you can sign online and decide if you decide to move forward. Again, we want you to be praying through these decisions. If you do decide to move forward, the next step is we will send you collection kits for the cheek swab and the saliva. Sometimes I'll do a case review, and then 3 months later the person decides to move forward. That's okay. It's all within the timing that God is leading you. Sometimes people are like, I need to hurry really fast. I looked at your website completely. How fast can I get going? Well, if you make a decision, even the same day we do a case review, if you're able to talk to Angie or Aaron and you move forward with the documents and everything, we can overnight the cheek swab and the saliva collection kit to you, and you can overnight it back to us. And once you return it to us, you have to give us at least 5 days. Usually we can get it done in 3 to 5 days. We could get all the testing done. And from the testing, we're programming your Rife. We're testing for what we think are the causes and how we're going to rebalance that. We're testing for what we think are the specific best nutraceuticals for you. And we're testing for diet and what could be feeding the cancer and fueling the cancer and what we need to not have you be eating. And then again, like I said, we're testing for specific frequencies and how we're going to program that Rife. And then we send you that Rife and the binder. And again, we could overnight that to you. So this could move along quite quickly. We just don't want you to make rash decisions without you praying about it. But if God is leading you this direction, we can move about quite quickly. We can overnight the Rife to you. Comes in a big box. You open it up. On the Rife computer, we actually place multiple videos on how to get started. Quite honestly, it's pretty easy to use. So most people do not even have to call us and say, how do I run this? They watch the how to get started with the Rife video and they're up and running that day. And then they call and schedule a binder review with your liaison. Remember, everybody's going to be assigned a liaison when you start with us. That liaison is your first go-to person that you can communicate with. You can schedule visits with her. And you will have weekly visits with her to begin with for the first month. And then after that, it'll be monthly visits with her. And then you can email her questions that she'll forward to Michelle and I to go over on the Zoom call. We have weekly group Zoom calls. So the weekly group Zoom calls, you can jump on and ask questions. Believe me, if you feel like you're doing this alone when you start with us, to be honest with you, it's your fault. Because we're here all the time. You could schedule with Michelle or myself. You could schedule with your liaison. You could jump on those weekly Zoom calls. You could ask questions on those. You could email questions to your liaison, which they will forward to Michelle and I, and we could go over those on the Zoom call as well. And soon we'll have a back office that you can jump on that's going to be privileged information for just our patients. So we want your success. We really do. That's what we're here for. This is truly a ministry to us. You will never meet a more committed group of people. All my staff, from the bottom of my heart, God sent them to me. That's all I can say to describe them, because they are just a gift to me, to our patients. They see this as a ministry, and that's how we operate as best as we possibly can. Know that we'll be praying for you, whether you choose to go down this path or whether you start and God puts the brakes on for whatever reason. He is sovereign. We want you, again, to be obedient to Him first. But understand we're here for you, and regardless of your choice, we will be praying for you.